And good evening, everybody. Time once again for the Suwannee Sports Report here on RiverCountrySports.com. I'm Wayne Littrell, joined by the head coach of the Suwannee High Bulldog baseball team. It's Coach Billy Moran sitting to my left. We're going to talk to Coach Moran about the week that was and the week coming up. Just talk a little baseball. It's all being brought to you by Roundtree Moore Ford, proud to be part of the Morgan Automotive Group, dedicated to delivering exceptional service and a wide selection of quality vehicles. You'll find them Highway 90 in Lake City, Florida. Right now, you can get up to $10,000 off MSRP. They've got some pretty neat specials this month. They got a F-150 Lariat. They've got 2026 Ford Explorer. They got a Bronco Sport. Man, that thing is nice. Go check out the vehicles. They've got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles as well and a good service department. Stephen Jones and crew, Roundtree Moore Ford in Lake City, Florida, proud sponsors of the Suwannee Sports Report. All right, we'll be right back after this.
In the heart of the red zone is where the game is won, and you need a dealership that knows about scoring big. At Roundtree Moore Ford, we've scored this area's largest selection of new and pre-owned inventory. And right now, we're scoring rates as low as 0%. It's time to get out of the stands and score big in the Roundtree Moore Ford red zone. At Roundtree Moore Ford, the customer always wins. So make your next ride a touchdown at RoundtreeMoreFord.com today.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Van Carpet One. For 78 years, we've been your local family-owned and operated floor covering store, and we can't wait to serve you. Let's go check out some of the stuff we've got and say hey to the guys.
Hey guys, this is Michael Van here at Van Carpet One. Wanted to show you our huge display of carpet. Got about 1,000 rolls for you that we can order. We also keep about 100 in stock that are on clearance, so please come down and give us a visit. We appreciate it.
Come in and see the largest tile collection in North Florida. Van Carpet One has every tile you could possibly imagine. If you can't find it here, they don't make it. Guys, take a look at this. This is just some of our options in waterproof vinyl plank, where we have the largest selection anywhere around here, including over 70 pallets in stock, ready to go right now. Come in and see our fantastic selection of elegant hardwood too, followed up by fantastic service that you expect from a company like Van Carpet One.
Come on in and see us.
We can't wait to serve you. And that's a boom shakalaka.
And welcome back, everyone, here in the River Country Studios. It's the Suwannee Sports Report, or as we like to call it at this time of the year, the Diamond Dog Podcast. All right, Coach, let's talk about last week, and a pretty good week. It started out with a trip to Tallahassee and a 16-2 victory, which made back-to-back games where we scored 16 runs, 16-2, beating St. John Paul II. Tell me about that, if you remember back to that ball game.
Yeah, man, it was a really good game. We faced actually the first arm well, both arms that we faced against St. John Paul were very good arms, but man, we were just firing on offense. Lopez led the game off with a double. I think Jace, got a hit to score him. So we're our first two batters, we were up 1-0. And we just never looked back. It's one of those games where I feel like everybody in the lineup had a hit. We had, several guys that had multiple hits. And it was just fun. It was fun to watch because our guys just had tons of confidence going into the game. And then once we get that offense rolling, it's really hard to stop us.
And it's great to see. Great to see that offensive explosion. The guys working hard in the batting cages,
Oh yeah.
and constantly trying to get that to come around. And it seems like we're scoring more runs. We're starting to hit the baseball a little bit. So that was great to see. And that was our third win in a row, winning in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Then we had the challenge against Columbia High School, which came in, and we were there for that broadcast. And what a game that was!
Man, I mean, there's so many good things to talk about in the St. John Paul game, but just recent memory, it was such an emotional ride in that game against Columbia. It almost, not that it erases it, but you just, it was so intense. Lead changes, pitcher performances, offensive, individual achievements. Man, it kind of like you said, that St. John Paul game seems like it was forever
Yeah,
ago
it does.
because that Columbia game lasted what seemed to be a lifetime.
Yeah, and it was that game where we saw kind of everything.
Oh yeah.
And if we go back to that game, first of all, the season sweep. I mean, it's been a while, and I don't think you've ever done that,
No,
right?
this is the
Since you've been
first.
coach.
Yeah, this is the first time since I've been a coach that we've got the season sweep of Columbia. So it was big. That was a big deal. Um, and we knew going into the game that Columbia had been playing much better baseball than they had in the beginning of the season. They've just been getting better and better. And then right out of the gate, we go out there, first batter of the game. Guy hits a home run, so we're immediately down 1-0, which is not ideal, especially in a rivalry game like that. But then we come back and we answer in the first and tie it right back up 1-1. And it was we tied it up in kind of a pretty crafty way and pretty kind of a like kind of a slap back in the face type of deal where we steal home on first and third play. So and that kind of just set the tone like this is going to be a war. And man, it did not disappoint.
No, it didn't. And they came. We knew we were going to get their best shot. And Tyson McCray led off with a home run to left field, giving that 1-0 lead. We come back in the bottom of the inning, steal that run at home, and tied it up 1-1. Then we're 2-2 heading into the sixth inning, and that's when it felt like the wheels started to come off a little bit. Green kind of got into him, and we had to go to the bullpen, and guys weren't throwing strikes.
Yeah. I mean, and that's so that was another thing, man, where when Green comes out of the game there, Green's kind of our guy that we feel like when he's going, we got an opportunity to win, and it doesn't really matter who we're playing. And the same goes for the other side. They had Kyler Keene, their left-handed ace, going, and when he's pitching, they have a chance to beat anybody. I think they beat Creekside. They beat Bishop Snyder when he was pitching. They beat some pretty talented teams with him on the mound. So we knew that this was going to be the toughest challenge of of the year thus far. And so they had tons of confidence. And as soon as Green came off the mound, man, it just felt like we had a hole in our parachute.
Yeah, a little bit. Gabe Garcia came in and he had that first batter, but then he couldn't find the strike zone. And then O'Quinn followed him, Lawson, and then finally we settled things down with Newman at the end. But let's go back. So it's 2-2. They get a couple runs in the sixth. They get another in the seventh. So now we're down by 3 runs, bottom of the seventh inning. And before that, bottom of the seventh, Columbia pitcher Kyler Keene, he got a cramp or a Charlie horse or something, and so you could see him try to work through it, but he couldn't go, and so that got to their bullpen.
Right. He was at 93 pitches, so I think he could have only faced probably 1 or 2 more batters. But to your point, once he came off the mound, they felt like they had a hole in their parachute. And man, I tell you what, we just we had a couple things go our way. We got 2 outs. Ty Moses comes up to the plate, senior. And I think they took a mound visit. I want to say they took a mound visit right then. So I got to have a conversation with Ty. And I just kind of talked with him and just tried to calm him down and let him know, hey man, look, whether you get a hit here or whether you get out here, like this is not we've already built a whole body of work in this game that we could have done things better. So regardless of what you do, this is not going to win or lose us the game. This is just your next at bat. So just go into it with confidence and just be on time and trust that you can get a job done. And man, he just lit the place up.
Yeah, well, let's watch that highlight. The Dogs with 2 on base, 2 outs in the inning, down to their last hope. When lo and behold, this is what happened. If somehow Moses could keep this thing alive, it'd be a great time for him to hit his first home run, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Glover's pitch, and that is in the air and deep left field to the wall, and that is out of the
Oh my! Oh my! Wow! Oh man! What? Woo, what a game! What a game! Wayne, I've done a lot of them, but I don't remember being in the last half of the inning and somebody coming up, do or die, and park one. And I'm saying I thought the guy would go opposite field, and he blows one out over the left field wall. And I'm not even going to tell you the wind was blowing that way. That was getting out of here any which way. And Daddy's here at the game, and I'm sure that he is way proud of that one.
He got all of that one, man.
Yeah.
Smoked it out of here. It's exciting. I mean, the whole ballpark, just came alive, and we got excited in the press box. I mean, everybody just jumping around. But then you had to realize that we tied the game. This
Yeah.
thing isn't over yet. That tied the game at 5, so we go to extras, and Columbia retakes the lead in the 8th inning, and so all that momentum, and we're feeling good about ourselves. But then we give up 2 in the top of the 8th, and we could have just packed it in right there. But
Yeah.
we came back out bottom of that inning, and we battled, and it looked pretty bad. Go back to the top. If Jace doesn't throw out that runner at second base, I mean, there was nobody out at that point.
Yeah.
They had runners in scoring position. That was a huge out. We just needed an out at
That's
that
right.
point.
And so what you're saying right there, they hit the home run, and we had so much momentum. It was such an emotional, like such a big emotional turn. We just felt like we couldn't lose the game. At that point in time, we were going to go get 3 outs. We were going to score a run, and the ball game was going to be over. And then, bam, home run.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they mark another run.
Yeah.
So it was just
But that could have gotten a lot
yeah,
worse.
it could have, and they were trying to bunt, so they bunted through, and that's something that we coach. Whenever they bunt through, we try to throw behind a runner because the runners usually get a little bit too much on when they're attempting to bunt. So just a great play to make that out. We finally get out of the inning, but man, you talk about the emotional swing of like high, and then just bam, the wind is knocked out of you, and you just wonder, man, like, is there enough magic in the night for us to come back down from 3, tie the game, and then find a way to win it in the bottom of the 8th. I just didn't feel like we had enough in the tank, but we our guys just stayed with their approach, man. They trusted the process, and have just put us in a position to win a ball game. So we go full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, and we got another senior, Gabe Garcia up to bat, and I guess we're going to watch the highlight
Yeah,
and see how
we-
he does, man.
We were
That's
down
just-
7-5, bottom of the 8th, with the bases full of Bulldogs, and here's what Gabe did: goes opposite field.
Well, here's a ball game. Doesn't get any better than this, Wayne. You want all the pressure in the world?
Yeah,
3-2.
3-2. Runners will be going.
Bases loaded. The team trailing by 2. And last thing you want to do is take it looking. So you're going to be swinging the bat. He doesn't want to walk you.
There go the runners, and there's a ball hit to the right fielder. It's dropping. Did it get out? Pickens! Fielder! Let's steal this game! What an unbelievable finish! This.
Wow.
Don't get anybody hurt out there in the celebration.
My goodness.
Unbelievable.
Wow. What a finish. Oh, my goodness.
That ball was drifting on the right fielder. I'm giving a base hit on that. The right fielder tried to make that catch, could not come up with it. And Suwannee comes around, wins in the bottom of the 8th
Oh, my
inning.
goodness.
What a ball game.
This is the greatest Suwannee game I have ever seen.
And I'm
This
so
is
glad we
unbelievable.
were able to broadcast it.
Oh, wow. And it's like you can watch this one over and over again. And it's like you said, that's why you play this game.
Yes,
Well, Gabe Garcia went from GOAT to hero,
he did.
and that's, I'm glad that happened. You come in, you walk a couple of guys, give up the lead, yada, yada, yada. And now you get a chance to win the game, and you do.
I mean, twice, backs against the wall. Just a great feeling to come away with that victory. Again, 8-7 the final score in 8 innings. Suwannee gets the win over Columbia and the season sweep, which is never easy to do. And, Chris Howard, you knew he was going to have that team ready to play. And hats off to them, man. They played a great game.
Man, they did, and it comes down to a dive and play. The right fielder played the ball. The ball was dumping and cutting away from him. And he had to dive for it, and just if the ball lands in his glove, we don't win.
Yep.
And the way it bounced this time, we did. So I'm just so proud of our guys, man. Because like you said, with all that emotional lead change, up and down, having pitchers not be able to throw strikes in key times, and it just kind of felt like it just wasn't supposed to be our night, and then we just found a way to just continue to fight.
Speaking of which, one of the unsung heroes there at the end of the game when we had to have that last out or the wheels were going to come completely off, Hampton Newman comes in,
Oh
and
man,
I gave him the wrong guy. You know, we thought it was number 6, but number 16.
yeah.
Hampton came in and he shut the door when we had to have that top of the inning.
Yeah, and so and that was a big deal because I made the pitching change when it was second and third, full count.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to make that pitching change because we really couldn't afford to load the bases and then bring an arm in. So I brought him in with full count on the batter, and he comes in. I think he threw two strikes. The guy
Fouled off.
fouled
Yep.
off a couple pitches, and then he ultimately did end up walking him, but I felt like that gave him enough time to get his feel to where he could get the next guy out, and he did. And I mean, you're 100% right. Without him coming in
Yeah.
and being able to pitch in that moment, you got to think that's a tough spot. Bases loaded or runners on second and third, and then you throw a couple strikes, but the guy fouls it off, and then he walks, and then now it's bases loaded. That's a pressure situation, and he comes in and just executes his job
Yeah.
and gets the job done.
Here's a guy
So,
he's been in the role of the DH all night
yeah,
long, so he's had a lot of time sitting. I mean, he
yeah.
hasn't really warmed up.
Well, what we love about that is that DH role, we can send him to the bullpen to go get warm at any point in time in the game. So it's a super beneficial spot to have him in. And another senior just coming in and filling up his role, doing a great job. I mean, hats off to the seniors. They perform their tails off. Lopez on the base path, you can see him. He scored the first run on that
Yeah.
game winning hit. So the seniors really, I mean, they did a great job. I'm super proud of them. Um, you know, all in all, just what a game. If you were at the game, it was amazing, and I'm so thankful for River Country Sports for being there to stream it. And now I can go back and watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I know Daniel Moses probably going to watch that. That's probably going to be a keeper for him.
For sure, man.
But Ty, I mean, just proud of the whole
Yeah,
team, man.
yeah.
You guys, I mean, that was just a fun game to be a part
It
of.
was, and it just kind of reminds me of the movie Moneyball. Brad Pitt does it's a great movie, but he has this phrase that he says, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Because I mean, like that right there just describes the love that you have for the game. You can't watch that without getting chill bumps and just bringing joy
No,
to your heart.
and I think the thing is, if you go back to that game, there were so many ups and downs throughout the ball
Yeah,
game. They were arguing with the umps from both sides. Disagreements. We had picking off runners. We had stolen bases. We had key plays. I
yeah,
mean, we just had everything in that game, and the emotions. You can't get too high and you can't get too low. I mean,
yeah.
that's a perfect example as to why you're constantly telling the players, "Hey, approach this next at bat.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about what already
It
happened."
it's a marathon, not a sprint,
Yeah.
I mean, and how you start is not how it's gonna finish. And yeah, I mean, both sides were on umpires the whole game.
Oh yeah.
The umpires were fiery, which was fine. Just a intense game. Even with the home run that we hit to walk to tie the game up. They were wanting to say he didn't touch the plate, and he touched the plate, and then went back and touched the
Oh my
plate. Like,
gosh.
and it was just that feel because everything mattered.
Yeah.
It was a battle. What a great game.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Congratulations again, Suwannee getting the win. But then, short-lived victory because you had to turn around and face a different pair of cats.
Hmm.
Had the Buchholz Bobcats. So we played Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday ends up getting rained out. Had to move
Yeah,
that Buchholz game to Saturday. So Saturday at noon, day before Easter. And last time we played Buchholz, they hung 19 runs on us.
yeah, yeah.
Much different ball game. Still lost the game, but a very close game, and we were in it to the end, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, we actually took the lead in the ball game 3-0. For all intents and purposes, we really should have won the ball game. We scored three in the second inning. Kyler Watson leads off with a triple. Gabe Garcia hits a sac fly. Then I think we get a couple walks, maybe a hit. Colton Rogers gets a base hit. Runners on second and third and scores two. So we had an opportunity to really shut the door on them. And they did what good teams do. They responded back immediately. So they scored two in I want to say the top of the third.
Yeah.
Um, tight ball game. Their pitcher, they started a Division I arm going to Florida Gulf Coast, and so you know, he did a good job of keeping us at bay, keeping us off balance. Had a really good, off speed changeup mixture, and we weren't able to score any more runs. And unfortunately, they were able to score two more. Uh, I think it was at the fifth. So and that's how the game finished out. It was a quick game. It was a great pitching performance on their part. Also on our part. Colton Rogers started the game for us. He pitched phenomenal. I think he had 7 hits, but out of those 7, I would say 3 of them were what I would say hard hit balls. All the rest were kind of chopping ground balls or little flare line drives that their guys. He kept them off balance all game. I mean, Colton Rogers, he throws from the sidearm submarine look, and he's just nasty. And they really didn't have an answer for him. But they strung together a few hits when they had to, and we just weren't able to scratch another run.
Yeah, couldn't get through against number 3 in number 12, the 2 pitchers they
Yep.
pitched, the Thomas kid. Um, so 2 pretty good pitchers that we saw. What I like about our performance is, we struck out 7 times, but we're cutting down on those
Oh
strikeouts.
yeah,
Our at bats are getting much better.
yeah, and like I said, that guy, he was probably 88 to 90. Like I said, he's a Florida Gulf Coast commit. The arm that they brought in relief is Lafler. He's a Embry Riddle commit, so
Okay.
he's a talented pitcher as well. So I mean, we just like I said, we weren't able, and we were in the game. I mean, the bottom of the 7th. It kind of felt like maybe we were gonna do pull off some magic again. Lopez goes up there, he gets a hit. I think we had maybe one out. Jace comes up. He hit a dribbler to third, but he almost legged it out at first. He got called out. And then we had Easton O'Quinn in the box. Jace right there, when he steps into the box, they're nervous because if Jace can hit a ball out of the park and the ball game's over, we
Oh, yeah.
win. And then the same thing with Easton O'Quinn when he steps in the box. He has home run power. So he could hit the ball out of the park, or at the very least got a base hit. So we had an opportunity to tie or possibly win the game in the bottom of the 7th. We just weren't able to get it done.
And you said something the other night that it was kind of cool. That you said, hey, everybody in this lineup can hit the ball out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, there's not one guy that can't hit the ball out of the park in our lineup. Not one. Every single guy has the ability to hit the ball out of the park. They do it all the time in practice. So they should step in there feeling very confident. Um, but the difference is we can't try to make the ball go out of the park. When,
Right.
when we
No, I
try to when
understand.
we try to do that, that's when we start to we start to drop our barrel. We start to our mechanics break down when we try to do that. But if we just try to hit the ball hard, a lot of times the ball is going to jump out of the yard for us.
Yeah, but just the ability, no, we're never out of a game
Never,
because
never.
no matter what part of the lineup
Yeah,
you're facing, which is always cool. So much nicer, and I never want to lose a game, but
sure.
much nicer, and you can feel good about a 4-3 loss to a bigger school and one of the top teams in the state, as opposed to getting blown out like
Yeah,
when we went to Gainesville.
yeah. And like I said, I feel like that game was an anomaly. That doesn't and probably won't happen
It
again for
seemed
a
like
long,
that
long
may
time.
have turned us around a little bit.
I surely hope it did. It turned me around. I can tell you, it turned me around upside down and sideways and inside out. I can tell you that. So, I was not the same after that, for sure. So hopefully it did the same for our guys. But now we're sitting at 11-11
Yep.
with an unbelievably ridiculous hard schedule, and we got 1 week left of regular season, then we go into postseason.
Yeah. So this week, regular season, we've got Newberry coming in on Tuesday. We'll be there for that game. That's going to be senior night, correct?
Yep. That'll be senior night. So based on weather right now, we still should be good. I feel like the field will hold up just fine. We do have a JV game scheduled ahead of time. That's the only thing that's in question right now is whether the field will hold up and be able to get both games in. So if we'll see how the weather holds up and how much rain we get over tonight. So
Yeah, I mean, light rain. I don't think we're getting anything real heavy. We should be okay.
mhm.
Tuesday, it
Yeah.
clears up. Should be a beautiful day for baseball.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I'm hoping to just like you are.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to senior nights, tell me who's the senior on this ball club? Who are we going to be celebrating?
So we got Hampton Newman.
Okay.
We have Noah Lopez. We have Ty Moses. We have Gabe Garcia and Hunter Watson.
Okay. All right, so 5 seniors, and we'll have a celebration for them. And I'm, gosh, man, I see guys come back all the time, and it's just a thrill to be part of this program. And senior night's a special night for guys like that playing maybe their last time at the ballpark.
Yeah. And so what's so special about that is you got Gabe Garcia who's committed to Santa Fe. Um, you have Hunter Watson who's committed to play football at Erskine. You have Noah Lopez, who I don't know if you guys know or not, but just this past week, he committed to Embry Riddle.
Okay,
So
cool.
he'll be playing baseball at Embry Riddle. And then you have Ty Moses has multiple offers for football, and probably has some offers coming for baseball. And then you have Hampton Newman, who I personally have had conversations with college coaches about him this past week, and he's been in contact with colleges, over the past couple months too. So all 5 of those guys are going to have an opportunity to go and play football or baseball at the next level. So I'm super proud of those guys, and all of them are tremendous students. So I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them, and look forward to what the future has to hold for those guys.
So Newberry is the next ball game, senior night, Tuesday
Mhm.
night. We played them down in Gainesville, Newberry, and that was a heck of a ball game. 7-6 was the final score. We
Yeah.
got out of there with a victory. But tell me, they're having a fine season. Record-wise, they're 16-5. But tell me a little bit about this Newberry team.
So Newberry, they're a scrappy team. They've got a Florida commit who's one of the nation leaders in home runs. Um, he's a big, strong, talented guy. A kid named Tavis Honeycutt. I think he's got 14 home runs on the season. Yeah, so he's a powerhouse. But as far as the team goes, they're a decent team. They're not as talented as we are, but they play good baseball. So they're going to put up a fight. That 7-6 game that we played, the game was well in hand. It was 7-2 going into the last inning. We gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the seventh. We made a couple costly mistakes. I don't foresee that happening again. However, we got to show up and play baseball because they're going to be better than they were last time we played them, and we are too.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say we're better,
yeah,
better
we're going
club
to
than
be
we were
better.
early.
Yeah.
So we go out with 3 home games. You got Tuesday, you got Newberry, then Thursday Trinity Christian Academy, and then Santa Fe comes in on Friday. So it'd be great to get a little bit of momentum here
Yeah.
as we head into district and into postseason play.
For sure. And going into postseason play, Fates and Newberry, they got a couple of really good hitters. Trinity has got really, really good hitters, really, really good pitchers. I mean, they're D1 from top to bottom. And then Santa Fe also super well coached team. They've been playing really, really good baseball. So when you look at this next week, if you're a fan, if you're a baseball fan, you need to come and watch some baseball this next week because you're going to see college commits in almost every single game we play. So it's going to be really, really fun, and also it'll be great to see some of these guys. I mean, there's a couple guys on the Trinity roster that will, um, if things go the way the pro scouts have predicted, there's some big leaguers on that squad. So
Wow.
yeah, it should be a pretty good game, and we're gonna challenge those guys. We're gonna throw Rogers against them. He's got that funky delivery. So last time we faced them, they saw Grayson Green, and he kept them at bay. And then Rogers came in relief. So yeah, it's going to be a fun game. I'm definitely looking forward to those two.
3 game week. So who do you start against Newberry?
Newberry's probably going to be Kyler Watson.
And then save Grayson for Santa Fe?
Yeah, Grayson will throw on Friday against Santa Fe.
Okay.
So
Bullpen wise, how do you determine who comes in relief? Is that just a feel or
yeah, that's just a lot of times too. We got Luke Dees, Romney Wainwright, Case Nickerson, Rylan Lawson. All those guys are on the pitching staff, and they're not in the regular starting lineup. So those are guys where if we get in trouble right now, they can go to the bullpen and get warm. So you don't really love to go get your shortstop and put him in the game if he hasn't had an opportunity. So most of the time when you see Easton O'Quinn or Gabe Garcia or Lopez or any of these guys that are regular defensive guys go to the mound, usually they have thrown in the bullpen in between innings, and kind of gotten loose and ready to come in. Whereas if we get in trouble situation, it's, hey, Luke Dees, we had him in the bullpen on Thursday, and he was ready to come in, and it was like, hey, look, your curveball is going to match up good against these guys, so go get ready and work, make sure that curveball's working. Let me know when you're ready. So we didn't get him in. We were able to get a couple balls put in play and made the plays on it, but that's kind of how it goes. It's like who's matchup. If we face a couple of lefties, Case Nickerson's got a lot of arm side runs. So if they've got a couple of lefties in the lineup, we'll throw Case Nickerson in there.
Yeah.
So it's really just a matchup and a feel thing.
Not easy going from a position player and
Oh,
then all of a sudden you're on the mound. I
yeah.
mean, that's a heck of a transition.
It is. It's a super tough transition, and I'll be honest with you, I really don't love doing it. That's why, I mean, I'm pretty sure Case Nickerson leads the team in appearances this year because he hasn't been an everyday starter,
Right.
and he's right there, and his matchup is he just throws strikes, and so when we get in trouble or we feel like we need a change, I tell, hey, Case, go to the pen, go get hot. And he goes down there, gets hot real quick, and he's been lights out when we go to him in the pen. So
All right. As for the district tournament, which will be spring break week,
yep.
but do we know anything at this point? I'm looking at the latest rankings. These came out March 31st. Still has us as the top team in the district as far as rankings go, ahead of Baldwin, Paxson, Wolfson, and Stanton. But do we know anything yet as far as when we'd play, where we'd play?
Based on what I've seen on my Max Prep app, it shows us second in the district behind Baldwin.
Hmm.
Which is weird.
Interesting.
It's weird because they have us ranked ahead of Baldwin in the state rankings. So why that is the case, I don't know. But so as of right now, what I'm looking at, we're looking at hosting the first round of district play, which would be on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then possibly if Baldwin wins their game, then we win ours, we would possibly have to travel to Baldwin.
So I've got just looking at, nobody really played many district ball games
Yeah.
this year, but Baldwin 1-0 in the district. We're 1-0 in the district. Wolfson 2-2. Paxton 1-1. Stanton 0-2. Overall records, I see Baldwin with 13-10. We're 11-11. It'd be great if we could win out.
Yeah.
But just looking at the two teams, our strength of schedule's off the charts. Theirs isn't bad. Their strength of schedule is 11.48. Ours is 15.20.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand how they compute that.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you? I mean, do you know the
no,
math that goes into it?
no, it's just like they arm wrestled Mark Wahlberg and we arm wrestled Lou Ferrigno. You know,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's not a little guy, and he's a pretty stout, strong guy, but
He's not the Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno's the Hulk. Like, so I mean, I know 99% of these people have no idea who Lou Ferrigno.
Well, that's all. Look it up, man. You can Google that. But anyway, whatever happens district-wise, we're going to be there. But just kind of curious as to, how that's going to shake out.
Yeah.
That's the mystery right now for
Yeah,
me.
and FHSAA, they do not go through max preps. They are not only max preps only. So what max preps shows is
Okay.
not necessarily what is going to be what FHSAA rolls out. So
Right.
there has been multiple discrepancies between max preps and FHSAA. So yeah, I mean, I guess what we're going to find that out
Okay.
sometime next week. Um,
All you
so
can do is control what you can control,
that's it, man.
which is these 3 games coming up this week. So hopefully we'll have a winning week. It'd be great if we could sweep,
Yeah.
but even if can't get by Trinity Christian going 2-1 that week, still with good momentum.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I want to win out. I feel like we can. I feel like we're in a spot right now, mentally, offensively, pitching wise, where we can beat anybody, so long as we continue to trust our process, man. If we do that, we can beat anybody.
Yeah, and you've been saying it all year. I mean, we want to play our best baseball come playoff
That's
time.
right.
That's what this schedule was built for.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's kind of coming together.
Yeah, and I had a conversation with our guys today. Um, you know, I don't know what Ty Moses did before his last at bat in the Columbia game, and it really doesn't even matter. What matters is he didn't. If he could have been 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but when he stepped into the box, he had a good at bat, got his foot down, got the barrel to a baseball, and some good things happened for him. So I mean, but if we got our head down and we're sulking because we struck out earlier that game,
Right.
then we don't even put ourselves in a position to hit that home run. So mentally, he stepped into that box with confidence, and that is the one thing that you can take every single at bat with you. If you hit a home run the at bat before, you don't get to take that home run with you. You just take that confidence.
Yeah.
So,
Ty was he was 0 for 3 coming into that at
well, I
bat.
mean, there
So,
you go.
but he had hit the last time up, he had hit a line drive right to the first baseman. He hit it
Right.
hard, just happened to be
Yeah.
right to the guy.
Right. Right.
So,
I mean, and that's it, man. Like, you would you be willing to go 0 for 3 and then tie the game be the hero?
yeah,
I would,
I would too.
for sure. Yeah, I
Take
would
that
love
right
that.
now.
I mean, that's something you won't never ever be able to take that away from Ty Moses. You'll never be able to take away that walk off hit from Gabe Garcia.
Yeah.
Like that's in the history books forever. So and I'm super proud of those guys, man.
Yeah.
What a great job, Hampton Newman. You'll never be able to take it away from him. He came in and stopped the madness and gave us a chance to win. On the mound. That's it. I mean, that's what we play the game for.
Yeah.
You know,
And I love the fight. I mean, so it just,
Yeah, I mean,
never say it's over until it's over.
yeah, and man, let me tell you something. I preach to these guys that like, man, not everybody gets to put on this Bulldog uniform. So there's a brotherhood and it's sacred. It's a sacred uniform. And man, we all the fans were out there and they got to witness it, but we got to celebrate that moment together. And it was a special, special moment. And I'm so proud of those guys for showing that kind of fight. Like that is not easy to do.
No, it's not. All right, Coach, let's go out and have a winning week. Good luck this week.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, River Country will be there for the Newberry game, and we also have a softball game coming up this week. Suwannee softball against Fort White on Friday. Shane Morgan is going to join me for that one. Tom Daniels will be in the booth with me tomorrow for Newberry. So that's going to wrap up this edition of the Suwannee Sports Report. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been brought to you by Roundtree Moore Ford in Lake City, Florida, Highway 90. Make sure you stop by if you're in the area and just tell Steven, tell the staff, hey, thanks for sponsoring the Sports Report on rivercountrysports.com. Also brought to you in part by Van Carpet One, by Farm Bureau Insurance, and by the Suwannee County School District. By the way, if you'd like to sponsor our broadcasts or you'd like to get more information, you can always contact us via email, rivercountrysports@gmail.com. For Tammy Neal, she's been our executive producer. For Coach Billy Moran, I'm Wayne Littrell. We'll see you next week here on the Suwannee Sports Report.